Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I am your friendly neighborhood PM here to give you your top 3 market points of the week. Now, I mentioned it last week, and I meant it. This week, it's all about big tech earnings. So we're going to dive into our 3 names that have really been moving markets. So without further ado, at name number 3, it is Apple, the largest company on the planet, having a bit of a mixed earnings report. Now, they did beat on EPS and overall revenue. However, they did see a miss on their services revenue, as well as weakness in their China segment. Now, China is their second most important market, so this is very material. On top of that, more and more investors are really looking towards their Apple Intelligence features or their new AI software to really help bolster their sales going forward. However, a few key things with this is that the features didn't come out until after the iPhone 16 release. In addition to that, some of the key features are still months away from being released. So right now we are in a bit of a wait and see period with Apple. At name number 2, it is Google, having a very strong quarter, pretty much beating across the board. This can largely be attributed to better than expected growth in their cloud computing segment. And this really goes to show that their continued investment in AI is finally starting to bear some fruit. Now, on top of that, they saw their YouTube ad revenue breach $50 billion over the past 4 quarters combined, the first time ever. In addition to that, some of you may or may not know, they have a separate business within Alphabet's overall umbrella called Waymo. It is their self-driving car service. And that recently just got valued at a $45 billion valuation at a most recent funding round. So pretty good overall quarter and week for Google right now. And finally, number 1, it is Amazon, having a strong earnings report, seeing continued strength in AWS and online e-commerce sales, as well as their margins continuing to improve in both of those segments. Now, this improving margin profile for both of these segments is really the byproduct of a very stringent cost-cutting endeavor by the CEO, Andy Jassy, over these last couple of years. And that is what has really allowed them to continue to further invest in their AI capabilities for AWS and their cloud computing segment, and really build out these new data center infrastructures that they're going to need for the increase in this new AI demand. So an overall good quarter for Amazon as well as Google, a little bit mixed from Apple this time. Now, those are your top 3 names this past week and what we took a look at this past week as well. Now, what are we checking out for next week? Well, next week, it's largely going to be the Fed rate decision. Right now, a lot of the markets are pricing in a 25 basis point cut, barring any dramatic change in data that comes in between now and then. In addition to that, I'm sure you're all aware, the election is next Tuesday. So by all means, please make sure you go out and vote. But that pretty much does it for this week's video. As always, please go out and enjoy your weekend, and we will see you the same time next week. Thanks again. Bye.